Thousands of Californians moved to Portland during the pandemic. It was one of the biggest migration waves we've ever seen. But here's what nobody really is talking about. A noticeable number of those same people are leaving, and they're going right back to California. Some of them within 1 to 3 years. So what changed? And more importantly, if you're thinking about moving to Portland, how do you make sure you don't become one of those people? Because I'll tell you right now, this is not just about money. I help people relocate to Portland every single week. Buyers, sellers, people moving from California, Washington, all over. So if you're even thinking about making a move, reach out. I'll help you figure this out to see if it actually makes sense for you or if you're about to make a very expensive mistake. So let's talk about why Californians flooded into Portland. So let's rewind for a second. Between 2020 and about 2022, Portland saw a massive surge of people moving in, especially from California. And this wasn't normal. This wasn't the slow, steady trickle we've always had. This was a wave. And it all started with one thing: remote work. It changed everything. Before 2020, where you lived was tied to where you worked. But overnight, that rule disappeared. People were told, work from home, stay home, do your job from anywhere. And that triggered a question a lot of people had never seriously asked before. If I can live anywhere, why am I paying California prices? That one question moved thousands of people. The cost difference was crazy. At the time, the numbers made Portland look like the cheap option. You had people selling a small older home in San Francisco that went for like $1.5 million, or a townhouse in the Bay Area for over $1 million, and then coming up to Portland and buying a larger home in a better neighborhood, sometimes for half the price, and most of the time cash. No loan, no stress, just done. This is not a minor upgrade. It's a complete lifestyle reset. Taxes felt like a win. People also looked at tax structure and thought, okay, this makes even more sense. In California, there is high income tax, there is sales tax on everything, and in Oregon, there is no sales tax, lower income tax overall. So not only were they saving on housing, they felt like they were saving daily on everything they bought. Same vibe, lower cost. Here is something people don't say directly, but it matters. Portland didn't feel like a drastic cultural shift. It is very politically similar, creative, artsy, strong food scene, walkable neighborhoods. So it felt like I'm not giving anything up, I'm just paying less. And that perception drove a lot of people's decisions. Lifestyle upgrade was real, and to be fair, this part is true. Portland offers a lot of things that Californian cities do not make easy. Quick access to the mountains. We're about 1.5 hours to Mount Hood. Rivers, lakes, hiking, coast. The coast is within 2-hour drive. For a lot of people, that turned into new hobbies. Kayaking, hiking, skiing, things they were not doing before. So early on, it felt like they won. So what changed? Now let's fast forward to today, because something shifted and it was not something minor. Remote work pulled back. This is the biggest domino. A lot of companies started reversing course. They said you need to be back in the office, or you can stay remote, but you cannot live out of state. And now suddenly people who built their entire move around remote work don't have that option anymore. So what do? They go back. Now let's talk about Portland itself. Portland got expensive. It got expensive fast. Here is the part that catches people off guard. The Portland is cheap narrative is outdated now. That $400,000 house from a few years ago is now $650,000 or $750,000, or depending on the neighborhood, even double the price. The rent went up, utilities went up, groceries, they are very comparable to Californian prices in many cases. So now people are rerunning the numbers and realizing, yes, California is still more expensive, but not by as much as I expected. And when the savings shrink, other factors start to matter more. Quality of life and expectations versus reality really hit. This is where things get uncomfortable. Some people moved here expecting a certain experience, and what they got did not match. They didn't anticipate, one, the visibility of homelessness, to the way certain areas have changed over time. Whether you personally agree or disagree, it impacts how people feel living here. And feeling matters more than spreadsheets. Now let's talk about the weather. The weather becomes a problem. Everybody thinks they'll be fine with the weather, almost everyone. And then winter hits. Not for a week, not for a month, for months. Gray skies, short days, limited sun. If you are coming from California, where sunshine is basically constant, this is not a small adjustment. It affects mood, it affects energy, and your daily routine. And for some people, it's enough to leave. Now let's look at a different aspect. Social life is harder than expected. This one surprised people the most. Portlanders are very friendly, but making real, consistent friendships, that takes time. If you move here without family, existing friends, or a built-in network, you can feel isolated. And a lot of people don't stay long enough to build that community. So they go back to where it already exists. Another big factor, career limitations. They show up in Portland a lot more than California. And that is the reality. California has larger industries, more companies, higher salaries. Portland has opportunity, but it's way smaller. So for career-driven people, especially in tech or high-income fields, going back starts to make a lot more sense, especially during the latest layoffs from Intel, Nike, and a lot of employers that are moving entirely out of state. I had clients who were ready to spend $3 million to move to Portland from Berkeley, California. And luckily they didn't. We were looking at neighborhoods, at school districts and everything. And it turned out that it was better for them to commute every single week, to fly from San Francisco to Portland. It was cheaper, it was better for their lifestyle. The kids were staying in school, they were going to play sports with their friends. It just did not make sense for them. And then on the other spectrum, we had clients who moved here, bought a home, lived here for a few years, and then decided to go back. They sold their house here, they made some money, so financially it wasn't really a failure, but lifestyle-wise, it did not work for them. They miss their friends, they miss their family, they miss their routines and their environment. So here is the trade-off. Do you want to move to a completely different place and start from scratch? Or do you prefer to pay a little bit more and stay in a place that is familiar, feels good, and it's your comfort zone? Now let's see what this actually means. This is the part you need to understand clearly. This is not about Portland being good or bad. It's about alignment. People moved here thinking, I'll save money, I'll improve my life. But moving always comes with trade-offs. You may gain more space, lower taxes, access to nature, but you might lose sunshine, career opportunities in your existing social circle. If you don't account for that upfront, you end up reversing your decision. So who should and who should not move here? Let's make this practical. You're a good fit for Portland if your job is truly location independent or your job is here. You value lifestyle over constant sunshine. You're willing to build a new network and you are thinking long term. You are not a good fit if your job couldn't pull you back, weather affects you more than you think, and you expect California lifestyle at a discount. Moving is expensive. Moving twice is brutal. So if you're thinking about relocating to Portland, don't just guess. Reach out. I'll help you figure it out. Let's see if this move makes sense. Let's see where you should be looking and if you should stay exactly where you are. Because sometimes the smartest move is to not move at all. I'll see you in the next one.